1, 2, 3, I'm JB.
Welcome to Games Overboard. I'm PJ.
I'm Dan.
I'm Angie.
I'm JB. I already announced myself though.
How is everyone today?
Tired.
Yeah, okay. Refusing positivity, so I'm good.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
That's because I put my makeup on today.
Well, let's turn that frown upside down, shall we?
Fuck you.
Or turn that smile into a frown, I should
Oh, I
say.
hate you. God damn it.
Because we have...
We're doing this right now?
We have for you
Oh, Jesus fucking
a
Christ.
dark story.
Fucking dark stories.
This one's called...
I just realized at first. I thought he was gonna like put some mood into describing the game. I forgot about these things. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure which one of them hates it more.
I know, right?
It's great, though.
I
I
think
mean-
JB hates them more now.
Well, yeah, because all right, they're frustrating, and you put me on. I'm on Dan's team on this one. I have no
fucking
choice but
time.
to stand side by side with my friend, and I don't like that. All right, annoy us. Go ahead.
This is called Dr. Doctor.
Give me the news.
This has been happening
I got
all
a bad
night.
case of loving you.
Fuck yeah. I'm sorry, what?
I said this has been happening all night, where one person will just say something. And
Yes,
someone-
it has. It has.
Usually you will break into song.
Well,
a
I
couple
can't
times,
help
JB.
it.
Yeah, well, I also think of the song he thinks of, but then
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
do it out loud.
That's right. It
because,
just
you know,
that's my job.
decorum.
Well, fuck decorum.
I'm a guest here.
It's because you have tact.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I
Actually,
guess
that's
that's
not
true.
something I
No,
don't.
yeah.
I
Great. Delay the dark stories. Keep talking.
Yeah,
Keep
I have
talking.
negative tact. I hate to tell you this. Not my strong suit.
So if you're like a D&D character, you'd be like -2, 3.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, if it had to be a game equivalent, I'm like those walls in Zelda you can really easily bomb. That's me.
So, PJ, tell us this dark
A
story.
man
God damn it.
goes to the doctor to get the results of some previous tests.
Uh-huh.
The results do not show any health issues. However, he commits suicide shortly after the visit.
Oh, because he has AIDS.
No, I actually figured this one out immediately.
Because depression doesn't come up on a medical exam.
Okay, you said there's nothing wrong with him?
Nothing.
That's not what he said.
The test. The
test-
results
the
do not
test came
show
up inconclusive.
any health issues.
No health issues.
However, he commits suicide shortly after the visit. Why?
I am sticking with depression doesn't show up on a test.
I mean, that's true, but not.
So
in
I
this
got
guy's
it. I get
case.
points. I got points. Okay, so he's not depressed.
No.
Are you sure he killed himself?
Well, I mean, he does. Yeah, but it does not because he has clinical depression.
Okay, so he goes to the doctor for medical tests. Nothing shows up on the test, but he kills himself shortly after.
Yes.
I don't even want to guess because I have like a bunch, but they're not good to say.
Oh, who fucking cares?
I mean, was he like recently outed as like a diddler? And he didn't want to go to jail? You know, like is it like one of those things?
No, nothing like that.
His wife left him.
Well, that would be under the depression.
Getting warmer.
So unrelated to his medical issues, also he committed suicide. So why would someone commit suicide? Yeah, because
Because his wife was fucking the doctor.
He lost his family.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's it. Why would he go to that doctor for tests?
The patient knew that his wife was cheating on him, but he only knew the lover's name. His wife swore to him that the lover did not exist. However, when the man left the doctor's office, he saw the lover's name on the report. He realized his wife was cheating on him with the doctor and could not cope with it.
You know what would have been better? Was the man goes to a doctor, he gets all his medical tests are like good, and then he commits homicide. Like
He kills the doctor.
right?
One man walks out alive.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're in the Thunderdome?
I can't believe you guessed it.
Yeah, I mean, that...
I can't
I
believe
was
it
just
either.
I think she's fucking him. I don't know. What, all right, cool. Don't
like,
look at me like that.
Stop
Well,
hitting
no.
the pop filter?
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
It's not you. Yeah, stop popping your peas. Like no, it's That's insane. That I hate these stupid teasers. Okay.
Dan's like, his brain has started to morph to think the same way that these writers think.
So I go in. Right. All right. So I go in to see the doctor. Right. There's nothing wrong with me.
He
this
told me
guy
what to do.
probably knows he's fucking my wife. Completely normal doctor visit. Gives you her results back.
Doctor's got a
Nothing.
good poker face.
Oh, you're Mr. Huh? Oh, so that's the douchebag that she's
right.
with. Okay.
Better give him good mark. Oh, dude, you know, if anything, if I was fucking... Okay, if I'm a doctor...
You are the healthiest president I've ever seen.
Thank you. So...
Have some more cheeseburger before you go to bed.
Yeah,
There's
no.
You only weigh 215 pounds.
Yeah, there's no fucking way I weigh more than that guy. That's insane. But I'm going back to this thing. Okay, so let's say I'm the doctor. I'm fucking this guy's wife. He comes in and I know, oh shit, this is the guy. You know what I'm doing? I'm telling he's got like cancer or something. So like multiple times a week, he needs to get out of the house for a couple hours for chemo.
It's called malpractice.
Well, no, because like doctors are supposed to be smart, right? So you tell him he's got some sort of treatment where like every time, I don't know, when do I have free time? Every Thursday afternoon, you can't be home. You know? You have to drive 2 hours away.
Cindy, cancel all of my appointments between now and till everyone gets back.
5 minutes
Yeah.
from now.
Maybe for Tim, maybe for JB.
I have so many problems with this stupid one, unlike the other ones. This one, like, it just... There's so
I like
many...
how this is the one you have issues with. Not,
Yeah, this
not the
one's
post-apocalyptic
driving me over
one
the
or-
edge.
So we played a game today.
Yeah, we did a thing.
We played a Stonemaier game today.
The
Shanna's
newest-
not here to give us a
newest-
Jamie Stegmaier
Thank
fact.
fucking God. It's the
I mean, I
newest-
could look some up.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I already know more than I wanted to.
We still need our John Garcia facts.
Yeah, we do. But later. All right, so this is his newest game. This is Apiary.
Apiary.
What is Apiary?
Can you please stop hitting the table?
All right, so Apiary is a worker placement game about bees in space.
It's got to have a lot of gravitas. Just bring it out there.
I know, I was doing it just to annoy you.
You're a bitch.
We both doing it at the same time?
Yeah, why not? Ready?
All right, it's about bees
Can't wait to hear how this
Oh yeah, that's
finishes.
gonna be great.
Oh yeah, we're starting a band for sure. Because when you
that
said
was-
bees
We'll-
in space, I was
we'll
like,
tour
why
the
did he say it
countryside.
Like, that? Like everyone knows you gotta say it like Mel Brooks, and
That's
then
right.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
glad we were all on the same page. We take two. Cool.
Yeah, I had the first one. I was stared Dan dead in the eyes.
Just so
as
you
I-
could just to piss me off.
Yep.
In space, no one can hear you. Bzzz.
So you are a race of bees, known as the Mellifera. JB.
JB,
still-
how would they pronounce that?
All right. Well, they would like turn in a circle, wiggle their leg, and then go. Zzz. Okay, there's no way without lips you're calling yourself that.
Yeah. So for
And
the
I have a big problem with most of the game has all sorts of terms like that there's no way a bee is saying. You don't got lips, dude. What you doing?
yeah,
That's
so
true.
we just call them the buzz twerks
Yes.
Yeah.
for the
dude,
butt
that's
shaking
a good
there.
band name too.
The Buzzworks?
Yeah.
All right.
If you just take an adjective and then plural noun, you can get some pretty good band names.
Do you want to know what's fun?
Shit. Yeah.
The
Raging
Flaming
Bull.
Tires, like
We're on the list of where he's featured on podcasts.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Poor guy. Well, I mean, in these circles.
Well, yeah, February. That's when we had the interview with him. So that
Oh,
makes
yeah,
sense,
that's right.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I was like, in this circle with you guys and stuff, he's held up this like figure, like he descended from the clouds and made games I'm bad at. And he told a bunch
he
of
came
facts.
down from high and said, "Play this game, and JB shall be bad."
Now, well, okay, so for our listeners and for JB, like Jamie Stegmaier, first off, I'm pretty sure he has the same taste in games as me because every game from that company I like a lot. Like it's like they're made for me, So, as you can see, like that whole shelf is just Stonemaier games, and they're all just awesome. I love them all. I'm terrible at pretty much all of them, but they're all great.
Yeah, even Scythe.
Scythe, yeah, it was awesome. Great game. So
No, I mean you're bad at.
Oh yeah, terrible. The other thing is that he does weekly live streams, and he'll just chat with fans. Like he has the chat windows up, and he'll just be like, "Hey, ask me a question, I'll answer it." He's the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and he just hangs out for an hour every Wednesday and just talks to his fans, which is freaking awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can buy golden eggs for Wingspan right now, and he'll donate $1 to each of the 10 charities that he's at this annual charity
there's a charity auction that he's doing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's going on right now if you go to Stonemaier.com.
It's so funny because we were like, oh, this is the rare episode. We're not having fun facts about this guy.
And now here we are.
Turns out, all we're doing.
Well, Angie took over from Shanna, so I guess.
Yeah.
She's just not as obnoxious with it. But she's gonna.
I'll be on one of his videos, though, later on this
She's
year.
gonna kill me. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Saying hi.
Hi. Are you gonna say it like this? Hi.
You're gonna go all fangirl again.
It's gonna be me and 2 other people, like, there are 4 of us all chatting for this video.
How much did you pay for this one?
So, what? Nothing. You don't pay for things like that.
Oh my god!
I was gonna
Damn.
say, how do you live if you don't pay for things?
We need to find Draftosaurus.
That looks awesome.
That
Does look awesome.
Okay, Apiary, guys. Apiary.
This is again, worker placement game. You have these awesome little bees that you get to put on the map to get things. And there's bumping, which I haven't seen in a worker placement game since Charterstone, which was another Stonemaier game, where if I want someone's spot and they're already there, I just put my piece there, push them out of the way, and they take their piece back.
Out the way, bitch.
Yeah, your goal is to just collect victory points, and you do that by building up your hive, getting farms and scientists and things like that, scientist bees. Bzz. And you can make honey and wax and collect pollen and fiber to make all kinds of different things.
The things that bees make.
You can move the queen mothership around.
Which is a giant bee, and
Yeah.
it looks fucking awesome.
Yep. And you visit different planets, and those planets will have resources on them, and you get resources from those. You can plant seeds and find seeds and plant those and things like that. But the neat thing is, when you get a worker back, it levels up. It goes, they have like 1 through 4 on their sides, and every time you pull them off the board, they level up 1.
Right.
And then eventually they have to retire. Like, they reach the end of their life and they go into hibernation. Once all of your bees are hibernating, then you end the game. That's how the game is ended. Not necessarily how you win, but how it's ended. So yeah, if you've played a worker placement, that's what it is. You put a worker on a spot, you get the thing on that spot, and then you move on.
Right. So first time for the whole group playing this, I mean, even for you, since you only did
Yeah, I've played a couple
solo games.
And not even full games,
Right, and we didn't even play a full game tonight, just just to go through
which
the motions.
kills me. Yeah,
it does suck, but we were running out of time, so we could do this.
yeah.
A lot of the things you're unsure of, very easy to look up in the book, in the instruction booklet. But once you get the hang of it, just like a lot of Stonemaier games, it takes a few rounds for you to go, oh, okay, I get an idea, and then it just starts flowing. You just get right into it.
Yeah.
And it's certainly once you get the hang of it.
Yeah.
You explained the rules to us, you taught us, and
You
it
blanked
seemed
out.
like a lot at first.
Yeah.
So I definitely made poor decisions early on.
I think we all did.
But
it's a learning curve.
Yeah, once you got the hang of it, it all became apparent. But
Because-
there's definitely there's a lot going on with this board. It's weird because we're in an audio format. It's gonna be hard to describe this, but there are a lot of different sections.
Well, let's
There
see, you got
are.
1, 2,
There's a
3,
lot
4,
of just
5, 6. You got
things.
6 or 7 different spaces, different sections of the board here
Yeah.
to do things. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
And it's a decently sized board.
That's pretty large.
I think you need the fan art for Wingspan.
I know,
We're talking
I
about
kind of
this
want
now.
that
It
pack.
looks pretty freaking cool.
Okay, well, we're talking about this now. And
Thank you, JP.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was thinking it. You said it.
the whole time you're playing the game, you're into it. You got mad that we tied for winning. And then the second we hit record, you're saying, well, I'm going to fuck up my phone here.
I'm Instagram stalking Jamie Stonemaier.
Oh, great. She's completely taken over Shanna's page.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
mean, you can't do that at any time. It's really important.
But his cat is so cute. I want to pet Walter. Can we go to St. Louis for a field trip and so we can all pet Walter?
I'm not.
I know he's not listening, so we can't really ask him.
Yeah,
But...
yeah, he doesn't listen to his reviews.
I don't care for St. Louis. We'll talk about the game in a second.
I drove by it.
but
I drove through it.
I don't care for St. Louis. No one can drive for shit. Like it's pretty bad. It's not Chicago. It's not Atlanta or Nashville. But it's like its own kind of worse because like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the climate or because everything's fat, or like fat, not fat, flat. I don't know if it's because everything's flat and like, you know, Missouri and Kansas and stuff. So their eyes have just devolved into not being able to see.
They've
See,
lost all
that's how I
depth
feel about
perception.
Massachusetts. Sorry, listeners in Massachusetts, but God, you cannot drive. In one parking lot, I almost got hit by 3 people last time I was up there.
Yeah,
That sounds about
they don't
right.
have time.
Terrible.
In Massachusetts,
It was
though.
terrible.
I mean, they don't even have time to pronounce their R's. They got
What you talking about?
There
Just
are-
sitting driving in my car.
yeah. There are Dunkin' Donuts to get to and people to insult. They don't have time. to
Yeah,
merge.
I mean, I spent a week there, and I came home like such an aggressive driver because of that state.
Yeah. Anyway, so B game.
Yes.
B game.
So let's just jump into components. What do we think of this?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yo,
Errol,
yeah.
So let's start with the board. The board is your standard, typical board.
Stop hitting the table.
I'm gonna hit the table.
He was
more now,
emphasizing
just because
that
of
that's where the board is.
No, I mean there's a lot of
Double-sided.
shit. Yeah, double-sided. For however many people are going to use
Yeah,
it.
the other
Thing to
side is
complain.
for 1 to 3 players.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. See, I
yeah.
didn't know that. It was you set it up before we got here. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's busy. It's a fucking busy board. There's so much shit. I mean,
Yeah.
there is very little real estate that's not used.
Would
The
one
busy
say
bee
that
board?
it could be a tad fiddly?
Yeah, I was going to bring that word up later in the review. That word was definitely coming.
It's PJ's favorite word when it comes to describing games.
No, it's not. It's just a good word for describing certain games.
It's his favorite word when describing certain
He
games.
said it like 90 times. I don't even remember which game it was.
Dinosaur
Dinosaur
Island.
Island,
Oh, yeah,
yep.
It's a
right.
very fiddly
It was
game.
a very fiddly game.
See?
Not a word I would use when describing games.
You should play Dinosaur Island with us sometime.
Yeah.
You'll understand.
I'm not sure if I want to. I hear it's quite fiddly.
You don't say. Who'd you hear that from?
You.
So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
the
not a
busy
lot
board.
of not a lot of empty real estate on this board.
Busy bee word.
Oh,
I know, it sucks because it wasn't a good one, but it's the first one. I've been doing them all night. It's,
Yeah, he has been.
I'm out of them, and now you guys
You're
get to
finally-
enjoy
you're finally
my
extinguished.
Yeah, my desperation grasps into the ether for more puns.
His bees have swarmed.
oh.
And now his jokes are endangered.
Oh,
There must be
Hard-
honeybees.
They're hard to come by.
yeah, no one's gonna have any food in a few years. Pollination's a problem. So.
All right, so in terms of components, though, this is this game is going to retail at $75. When I was looking at pictures, I'm like, why is this game so expensive? Because like there's some cardboard tiles and some like worker bees and stuff. Like, why is it so expensive? And then I saw just how much stuff is in this freaking box.
It's because there's 8,000
It's-
cardboard pieces.
yeah,
It is a colony worth of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so much.
It's probably at least an entire tree.
Oh,
Like-
definitely.
and I think the box had like over 100 little wooden bits of the rain, the water and the pot.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of- yeah. So the resources are like little wooden pieces, and they look great and they're really cool.
Yeah.
But they are like really hard to pick up because they're like in a little bowl, and it is.
Did you
I'm
ever
trying
think
to
that-
think of how to describe it. They are very hard to just grasp and pick up, like the one you're going for.
Did you ever think that maybe it was just dexterity issues on your part?
No, I got dexterity. I don't have, like I guess grip strength. Sorry, but like no, they're just like
He's
so
working
hard.
on his pincer grasp, you know.
Like
That's
yeah,
right.
it just and it's like I didn't spit on my fingers at all this time, and I still just couldn't get any traction at all.
There's a lot of honey on your hand. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, is that
No,
what
because
it's called?
honey is sticky. You're fucking up your bee jokes.
It was the water made him wet.
yeah.
Like the pieces of the game, they're all gorgeous as far as I saw. Like
Yeah.
the art looks good. I love the little bees that you flip around with the numbers, seeing how strong your bees are. But that bowl of fucking wooden madness. Someone would be like, "Oh yeah, like, hand me a wax and shh, get it yourself."
good,
Like,
good luck with that.
That is my one big complaint about this.
But everything is very on par with other Stonemaier games, though.
Oh, those
Like-
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Just the
Yeah.
like the quality of them and everything. It's not.
Is the microphone attacking you, JB?
No, I accidentally attacked it. It was self-defense
Oh.
for the microphone.
Oh, it's like motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got all caught up in it. But no, like the art is nice once you realize what everything means, and they give you those nice little reference cards you get to have, telling you what to do on your turn, what happens when your turn ends, and if you flip it over, there's a nice little key, or
Yeah.
a guide telling you what all the symbols mean. Because there are multiple times I'm like, gain 2B, what? And I was like, flip it over and be like, oh, the little B symbol means I still don't remember. Recruit.
Well, I like how on the board, like when it comes to this, the portion where you get to make the hive, you've got the worker bees, like putting together the hive on the outside. You can see them like with welding equipment.
I mean, I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out.
That's really cool how
That is-
yeah,
it's
the
pretty
board
neat.
artwork matches the action you're taking in that
Yeah,
section.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the hibernation comb.
You like the hibernation comb because you get a
It's
shit ton of points if you're the only one in there.
No, I'd like the name of it, Daniel. God.
Okay, well, you like to sleep. So do I. I'm gonna get killed sometime this weekend.
Just touch ovens.
I don't have root beer in my mouth tonight, PJ. It's not gonna be as good.
You're not gonna spit it all over the place.
I literally spit root beer all over the floor because he made his goddamn touch up.
Hey, man, whatever floats your boat, whatever builds your bridge, Get it, girl.
Not fun.
Oh.
Dutch ovens? No.
I could have spit it back in the cup, but I don't know why I just spit it on the floor.
Well, because it was a bottle.
Oh yeah.
No, I had my loyal salt cup that
Oh,
I
that's
brought.
right.
Yeah.
You had your cup.
My special cup that lives here.
yeah.
That's right.
So in terms of components, you also get a queen mothership, and it has a little clear stand that it to make it look like it's flying.
But it's kind of useless because it just falls off.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the stand is too small for the queen, and when you pick up the queen, like it just comes right off the stand.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly like wedge in. It's just sort
Yeah,
of on it.
yeah. The same exact stands are used in Scythe for the airship expansion, and
Yes.
like you put the stand in the ship, and you're not.
It's not coming out.
Yeah, they're not coming out unless you forcefully pull it.
And it's aesthetically pleasing to have the queen bee floating above everything, but
Yeah.
we
Eventually we
after
gave up.
time- Yeah, because everyone you grab the bee
Yeah.
to move it around.
And I like that space where she travels. You've got a picture of the bee with blue ass blasters right there. That's
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna glue the stand.
Tremors 3 is
into the
ass
bee.
blasters.
that's right.
Yeah, Tremors 3.
You gonna make it a glue bee?
Yeah, glue bee.
Glooby. I like it.
Yeah, glue the bee.
No, in general, the pieces are really nice. I kept on not calling them what they were. I was like, oh, I get a green squiggle. I get a hippie flower. Instead of pollen and fiber and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, everything is really, really nice. I love the actual your bees, your worker bees or whatever they are.
Mhm.
I love those
That's
little
so cool.
kind
They're-
of dice
they're-
designs.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
four-sided.
D4s.
Yeah, and you just spin them around to what you need. I do wish that their head wasn't so if it's a 1 power bee, so the 1 is on its back facing up, then it's like a bee, and then the rest of it's like a sleepy bee or a dead bee as you rotate it around.
My bee is powerful. It's on its deathbed.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, you got screwed now. This is my power 3B. He's going to farm. He's just going to take a little nap. He's on the back right here. It's a minor thing, but because my bees weren't normally power 1 or whatever the heck the actual game terminology is, strength 1.
Strength 1, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's pretty nice. Once you understand it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
And lastly, the insert is phenomenal. Like, everything fits in there perfectly. The thing is, if they make an expansion, this insert's trash. Because nothing is going to fit in here.
You're going to have to get a whole new box.
Yeah, because it's all filled to the brim of this insert.
Well, do you think
the expansion is just going to have to come in its own box?
I know, yeah. Or like a new insert, or
just make a double box like Scythe.
It's weird because when I buy expansions, normally people just throw cards into my car or something as I'm driving past. But hopefully this one comes in a box.
His last expansion for Tapestry, it didn't come in a box. It was just, here's a bag of the stuff. Just put it into the box, like, here it is. So it's trying to save on resources and things like that, make it as eco-friendly as possible. But again, there's no space in this box for them to do that. Maybe some new seed cards, there's a little bit of space there, but planets to explore? No. There's no room there. Docking mats? No. New hexes? No. Like, there's no extra space for anything in that insert.
Everything's packed. And I just have to say, you can always tell a Stonemaier game just by the quality of their...
the paper.
Yeah, the paper.
Yeah, I read, maybe it was during one of his live streams. He's like, ever since Wingspan. Yeah, Wingspan was the first time they used this, and he said they're not going back to, like, any other paper quality.
It's great. Like, it feels high quality.
You're in for a treat as soon as you open it up, and, you see all the cool pieces and you feel the texture of the paper and like care was put into it.
I mean, I was excited to play, but it was also because it was bees in space.
Yeah. You didn't say it right.
You gotta put the echo just on the way she said it. Just flat, like
space.
Bees in space.
That's delay. Just so you know.
Bees.
Echo.
Yeah, it's
put an echo there.
It's called a delay effect.
Space.
Space. I love you, sweetie.
Oh, I do.
All right, so what works?
It's a delay effect.
What works in this game?
Bees.
The worker placement is very, very easy to follow. Don't give me that fucking look.
I'm sorry, I rolled my eyes. You're supposed to go bees.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
Worker bees.
The bees work. I'm sorry. I totally fucked up that joke. No, I don't even want to fucking say it.
No, I already forgot what you were saying. So please.
It was another song, but clearly no.
Worker placement.
Worker placement. The worker placement in this is so simple.
I have to say, I think worker placements are one of my favorites.
They're especially a Stonemaier worker placement.
They are
so simple. It's easy. I do this. This happens. Next.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how worker placement is. Like, Everdell is one of my favorites. Like, oh, I need berries. I go to the spot with the berries. Put a little worker down, get berries. Now I have berries to feed the store clerk.
Is that all he eats?
Yeah, it's the only food in the game.
Oh.
You played it. We reviewed it.
I know, but
Dan.
But I thought maybe
Gosh.
I didn't play it.
This guy.
I didn't review
Fuck
it.
No, you didn't. You have to borrow it sometime.
Okay, so worker placement. Yeah, you put it in the spot, it tells you what to do. There is one thing I do wish that it kind of worked though, because it was, you do one thing, your turn's over. Next person does one thing, their turn's over. I kind of do wish if you had those bees in reserve, you could choose. Like, I wish you could choose when your turn was over. Like, I kind of wish...
Like, you could do more than just one action.
Yeah, like, I have two active bees hanging out in reserve here. I wish I could do something with each of them. And then...
There is one faction where it's like, if you pay a resource, you can send out another bee.
Okay,
which
cool.
Is, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we didn't... That's, like, one of the ones we didn't play as.
Yeah, there are 20 different factions, yeah.
Holy shitballs.
You had some... When we got here, you had the table set up, and there were just some on the table. I chose the one with the cutest name. And, like, that's...
Well, no,
you got the least bees.
These things.
Oh, the little starting square guys.
Yeah.
But like that's my only problem with like the worker placement thing. It is fun, but because we each do one action
This
per
one
turn,
is very limiting.
it feels like it takes a while.
Yeah.
Like it feels like because we ended up stopping because it started getting late, but like it feels like we barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get that first hibernation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once we got to it, once we got to it though, like I was going to do 2 on my next turn. You know, like once you get into that later game stages, like I feel like they come a lot faster.
You know what would make it more fun?
If JB didn't have such a dirty mind.
Maybe, but probably not.
Someone else would have made the joke. If
Yeah,
you
that's
weren't here.
true.
Once it gets late, it just comes fast.
If it was more like, if it was like Raiders where you put one down, but then you pick one up.
Yeah.
You know, if it like,
Yeah.
then you got 2 things on each turn.
Yeah.
JB, you'd like that one. It's a Viking
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
game.
Raiders in the North Sea where like you put someone down on a spot and you get the stuff on that spot. Then you pick up a different one and you get the stuff at that spot too.
Oh yeah.
I also
right?
won
Isn't that
that
cool?
game because
Yeah,
they
I
were
like
too
stuff,
focused on
so-
trying to kill each other,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
and they had
usually
no
happens.
idea. I got all the way. I went all the way around that board, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You did. You lapped it.
I did.
Yeah, Angie gets
And they're like, "How did you do that? Because you weren't freaking paying attention."
Speaking of,
Good God.
so yeah, I'm new to the worker placement game. You know, unless you count Risk. You know, like I'm new to the worker placement, but I did enjoy it.
Mhm.
And like I said, the board is large. It tells you what to do. Once you understand what these symbols mean, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. What do you think? Are they easy to understand once you like learn them?
Yeah, it takes a minute, but like once you get into it, you certainly know what's going on.
It's like anything else. Like, it looks complicated, but it's really not once
Yeah.
you...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we had 1 or 2 where like I misunderstood a thing. Was like, oh, I'm taking it back. You know, like because
Yeah.
Dan, you did that at one point
I
too.
did.
Like because we realized like, oh, I thought I set up this awesome move. This is gonna be cool, and then we did it, and you're just like, yeah, no, that's not.
No,
how that
that's
works.
not how that works. Like, fuck, I take it back. I take it back.
Yeah, congratulations, you wasted your turn. Like, all right, well, you know,
How does that make you
mulligan,
feel?
and like we'll
Now,
be
see,
back.
if this were our friend Shane, then you would not get any mulligans. You have to do it.
Yeah, I guess, but
If this was our
Shane's
like,
gonna play it because it's not
third
about Ninja
time.
Turtles.
Okay, good point.
if this was our third time playing the game, then yeah, I'd be like, no, you did the
Yeah.
thing, you know.
you know what you did.
I do that to my D&D group. If someone like jokingly is like, "Oh, I'm gonna run and kick that guy in the face," I'm like, "Okay," and everyone's else is like, "No," I'm like, "Oh, your characters say no, but
Yeah.
you just ran in and
You
kicked
did
that
it.
guy in the face."
It's hard as a DM in D&D to decide if this is out of game chatter
Yeah.
or you did this.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And my thing is, I don't like to say no. You can come up with the stupidest
Oh,
idea
yeah.
ever, and I'm just like, okay, roll for it.
Mhm.
Even if I don't want it to happen, like, go ahead, roll for it.
I had a student in my tabletop club attack a family having a birthday party at a tavern.
I also love doing the, are you sure?
Yeah.
Before they roll. Even if it's like not a difficult thing, I
Yeah.
like playing those psychological games. Just, are you sure?
Yep. Do you really want to do this right now?
I can't wait to do this AIM game with you.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Marvel Multiverse at some point here as regular people. But but back to bees in space.
So, any other things that work in this game? What else do you like about it? Anything?
So the artwork on this, we did kind of
the artwork.
touch on it, but the artwork is so cool.
I love the like little drawings of the bees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like these little scientist bees. There's the insurer, and here he is like holding some like papers under his arm.
Yeah, and that's where I think all the best stuff comes from. Those 8,000 cards
Yeah.
and tiles you get. Like all the best stuff is on.
Well,
those.
I had the chemist. That was pretty cool.
Oh, the
Yeah.
chemist is great. Yeah. So let's give credit where credit's due.
Finally.
The art is done by Kwanchai Moria.
Okay. I
And,
feel like you're pronouncing that wrong, but
Moriah, maybe?
both names, whatever.
Yeah.
Kwanchai, I know is right.
That's right. Okay.
And then the game was designed by Connie Vogelman.
Okay.
She's a first-time designer. First game she's ever made. And took it to Jamie Stegmaier. He helped her out. Apparently, it was originally just gonna be about bees and a bee colony.
That kind of makes more sense, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've heard like on a couple of the message board, or not message boards, but like Facebook and stuff like that. People are like, "Man, I kind of want to see that game." You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an aesthetic thing, but that makes a lot more sense to me.
So
It's not really spacey. You know what I mean? Like,
right, like
there's like you explore quote
exploring
unquote planets,
space,
but
yeah.
you're moving a bee over tiles.
That could have
like,
been
it's
flowers.
not-
you
and-
know?
yeah, not even flowers. That could have been like another field.
And I mean, the first thing I
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
when we sat down was like, "All right, give me the lore," because bees don't have thumbs. How are they, like, how are they building this? Okay, like I immediately was like, "Give me the lore. We need to know," because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because like, all right, Starship Troopers, you like come to them mostly. It depends if you're talking.
Unless they throw a fucking
if
asteroid
you're
at you.
watching the movie, you go to
Yeah,
them.
yeah. In the movie, the humans are 100% the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're like the bad guys in the books, sort of too. Well, the books are super fascist. We're not going to talk about
Yeah,
that.
the
Yeah,
books
let's,
are.
I mean,
the
We're
books
going
are
to
something
save that.
else.
So at some point, we're going to watch the movie Starship Troopers together, and we're going to talk about it because it's one of my top 5 movies.
Okay,
of all time.
this guy's gonna join right in.
I
He
would
fucking loves
love
that
to
movie.
Yeah,
be
that's
in
what I
there.
said. We. I wasn't talking to you, Dan. All right, we're gonna have.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
gonna
you.
be a PB and J's night. Okay?
Oh, and I'm not invited, or am I the and?
I guess yeah. You're usually the and.
Fuck.
It's an anagram of Dan.
It is.
Yeah.
PB&J the video.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that another time. But this game that does make sense if it was meant to be like regular bees, because I could see that. Also, I mean, it'd be the same exact game. It's just,
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You
yeah.
just have a different layout.
Yeah,
and
the cards would be slightly different. I guess
Right.
you wouldn't get the fun little occupation cards and stuff.
I like
but
the
like,
occupation
and they are really
cards.
cool.
They
yeah.
are.
But
They
it
are
just,
really
like it
cool.
just makes it more unique.
And like
It
the,
does,
yeah, the
Like-
cute bee welding. See, to me, it made it feel more generic that they're like, we have this cool bee game. Oh shit, better shoehorn a genre into here. You know?
Yeah, I wonder if it's a reaction because, like, when they made Wingspan, it brought on this huge influx of nature-themed games. Like, there's parks and hiking across the country, and like all these games about like building up nature and things like that. And it's a lot of people put that put the reason for that on Wingspan. And I wonder if maybe they're like, we don't want to do another nature-themed game because, you know, like there are a lot, but there aren't a lot of bee games.
Right.
So I was thinking they looked at the market. They're like, you know what people haven't done? Sci-fi.
Yeah.
Nowhere,
space.
nowhere uses
Oh, yeah.
space as a setting.
So
They've got like little like animatronic eyes.
What the hell's this Star Wars crap? Why didn't you tell me about this?
So this thought process started when you said no one in space can hear you buzz.
Yeah. No, well, it's in space.
It's in space. No one can hear you
buzz.
buzz. Yeah.
You gotta do the
So
movie voice in space.
so
Tonight at 9
what I thought
on the
would be-
WB
On Monday Street.
on Mundy Street.
So what I thought would be really cool for this, because it kind of fits in the same one sci-fi genre and the whole insects, this would work great as an aliens game too.
Well, yeah. I mean, no.
Worker placement?
Oh fuck
Well,
yeah!
So, like...
Aliens? Like,
Oh,
if you're the alien?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I see what you're saying.
Yes!
Because, like, you can
yes
put your eggs
and
down
no.
and age them.
You put
and
your eggs down,
That
and
would
then
be cool.
You have to, like, capture
yes, capture
bodies and bring
and-
them back.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the problem, though. that I
Jamie
was waiting
Stonemaier,
to
I
bring
need
up.
you.
I was gonna
we
say that.
need you to...
The issue with that.
If you're listening,
There's
we have a
only
suggestion.
one resource, though.
yeah, humans.
Bodies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it other living things.
Stop hitting the table.
Well, that's the thing.
Sorry, Mom.
It has to be other species. It can't just be humans.
Yeah, but you won't have like
There could be a Predator
so many
expansion.
resources and things to spend. Oh my god! So the Predator expansion, right? So you're playing a worker placement game. You're gathering resources. You're building up your things. You're evolving your face huggers, into chest bursters, into aliens, into workers, and then all of a sudden someone comes in. Now it's a 1v4 hunter game. That's what the Predator expansion does. It's like how because I was complaining that deck building games, they're fun, But I feel like, what's the point? Because I'm not playing a game with the deck afterwards. That's what the Predator expansion would do.
I fucking love this idea.
Yeah, we got to come up with like a copyright trademark free version of this.
Moving on.
What-
Things that don't work.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I mean, as I already said, I do think the one action per turn thing, I mean, it depends on how many people you have playing. And I'm sure next time we play it, if we play it against, we already know it'll go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does feel really slow, especially to gather resources, since you need to spend resources to get, like, anything. Like, so, okay, I have one turn, I explore a planet, cool, I get one pollen. Oh, well, I need, like, 2 of them and a water to do a thing. You know, that is something I do think is a detriment. It takes a little while for you to be able to build up any resources so you can buy stuff. Especially if you're like an idiot like me and waste your resources because you misunderstood the point of the game.
Yeah, I feel like usually larger games from Stonemaier, like Scythe and them, they at least give you a goal to work towards. So even though there are a million choices you can take on this board, you usually have like a little mini destination you can work for the first 3 or 4 turns, you know? And I feel like that would have been really good for this game, is just giving you a little something to work for. It doesn't have to be an end game goal, just a little goal. So you have some kind of destination and some kind of forward momentum in those early turns.
Yeah. Because, I mean, ultimately in this game, it comes down to your score points at the end of the game. You need to get the most points, which I know sounds like a no-brainer, but when you're playing the game, there are so many things to distract you and other things you're doing. You don't even think... I mean, I was hardcore in last place the whole game. I was clearly losing.
Oh, yeah.
Until we ended the game and added up the points and then realized, oh, like...
Yeah.
You know, which can be cool, but there's just, like, there's so much distraction going on that, like, smaller goals or something to do.
There are very
would be
few...
fantastic.
Like JB's saying, there are very few opportunities for points in game. It's all end game points.
Yeah.
Right.
Angie found a couple that let her score when she retrieved her bees, and she got points. So she was able to get advanced during the game. But even like for solo games, it says like the AI is going to outpace you significantly until the end game happens and you tally up your points. So like, you know, they're aware of that, like that's a design choice, but
Right.
I would like to read the design diaries to see why.
Yeah, that would be good. And we've already touched upon this before. Just moving one at a time is very limiting.
I mean, it's typical for a worker placement.
It's limiting in the sense, like you said, it takes so long to get resources, the amount of resources you need to like buy a farm or to
the amount you
recruit.
accomplish in a turn,
Right.
It doesn't feel like much as you're playing.
But at the same time, I feel that makes you work smarter for whatever goal you have in mind. So you look at something and say, I want that card, I want that hex. So now I have to figure out a way to get to that in the fastest way possible before one of you
someone else
steals
takes
it from me. Because I was going to go get something and then you took it from me. Because you're right after me. I'm like, oh, damn it! So that's one of those things where it's like it's a detriment, but it's also a pro, you know, in the same way where it's like, you have to learn how to work with
what you have.
With what you have and with, just how your playstyle is going to conform to it.
Yeah, you got to think like a turn ahead. Like, what am I going to spend these
resources for sure. Yeah.
Unless you're, because you and I, PJ, we both, like, we had a plan for a thing and then completely forgot. By the time it came out to our turn, we realized we completely messed up our plan.
Yeah.
I put a thing in a spot where I shouldn't have. And I, like, spent my turn, like, oh, I'm going to get honey because you need to use honey to buy these endgame point things. I was, like, ready. I was saving this spot. And then I just didn't think about it for 2 seconds and filled that spot.
Oh, yeah.
But then a lot of it, like the ones where you add together, like where you move someone's bee and then you add yours together.
Oh, yeah.
Like that plays into it too, though, because then you need to like look and see what's there to figure out if that's really what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you might be able to get something else.
Yeah.
Easier.
I would also say, like, thing that they could do is either streamline it a little bit because there's like a lot of options. And I got to a point where I just wanted to like try everything on the board out, but it like strategically wasn't a good idea. But there's certain things they can simplify, especially since there's so many pieces. Like, all right, so there's the research little tab area, right, where you get to draw your seed cards. And at some point I asked during the game, I was like, well, how do I plant a card? There has to be a way other than having like a level 4B that lands on that. Like, that's one of those things. Like, it's a whole component of the game that we didn't really even use, because the way to really take advantage of those cards, they help you with endgame points and stuff. It's a whole other mechanic over here you have to be up on and invest in.
Yeah, you have to be actively searching for options that provide you to like plant the seeds. Yeah.
And like it's cool because it gives you other things to do, but I also think it's a detriment because there's like too much going on at once. Like I feel like there's another way to plant those cards or get those cards or something. Like even make that like an optional thing. Like, okay, if you land on the square and you have a, you know, whatever level B, you get a card, you do this or that. But then maybe have other things other than like, you know, your farm, or you put a thing on a spot to like get the, like bring them into play more. Or
I feel like it could have been cut from the game. And like, like if they would have trimmed the fat of that, like it wouldn't have affected the gameplay at all.
Yeah, it's like one way or the other. Like either streamline a couple of these elements, or if you want to have them in here, incorporate them into other things so they become more useful. Yeah. I mean, we had a bunch of stuff that we really didn't like touch or use. Like none of us were using the grow thing.
Right.
You know, I mean, I used it once.
Once you start hibernating, that's when that becomes important.
Like I used it once, but at the same time, it was more useful to me to just, because you can only play one bee at once, just to keep, you know, two bees in play.
Maybe if you integrated those two together.
Yeah, something.
And made them one thing so that like...
Yeah, like I'm not a game designer, so I don't have an idea. I have criticisms, okay? I'm a man of criticism, not a man of action.
Many
so,
criticisms.
You know, it's one of those things. Like, we didn't really use that little corner of the board much. And like, you're right. Like, end game, once we're hibernating bees, because we didn't explain
because once you hibernate a bee, you lose that bee. Yeah. And you have to use the grow action to get it back.
But like, I found it handy to, instead of getting my extra ones again, since I can only play one per turn, well, screw it. I might as well just keep the two I have, because you get benefits when you bring them back in and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those research cards, the seed cards, we didn't really use much.
Yeah.
Because they didn't seem... There were just better options. There were better things to do with your resources, you know? There's a few things in the game like that where I think they could either like streamline it by cutting it, or get it more involved with other things, give you other ways to get these things, or, you know, tie some more of the resources in, because there's so many cards.
We didn't do a whole lot of converting either.
Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't.
I did a couple times. You had a really good conversion round.
Yeah.
Though, where she converted 2 resources into wax or whatever, and then like she changed 2 resources to 2 others, and then she used them to make a wax, and so she did 3 things in one turn, which was pretty huge. Like that was probably one of the biggest moves of the game.
And Dan did a dance.
Yeah, I taught a dance.
He taught a dance. No one used the rest of the game. But
I was going to. I almost like if we had a couple more turns, I would have.
Yeah.
It's so hard because there's so much going on in this game that like we didn't explain like most of it.
And that's our thing, like as a podcast, is we don't really focus on that anyways. Like if you want to learn really how to play the game, watch a how to play video, you know?
Well,
we just kind of give an overview.
But it's like in general, like just in the past 5 or 10 minutes, we brought up multiple things that we have not mentioned previously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Know? And I'm like,
we haven't even talked about Queen's Favor at all.
Oh yeah,
that mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, which that's one of those things like
which I love,
building my little card that I thought was super important until I realized like it's not that important. Like it helps, but like I wasted my first couple turns getting like adding onto my colony with those weird card things and like building up, because I thought that's what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm building the biggest beehive. Like that's important.
That's right. You tried to take over Angie's there for a second.
Yeah, I did. I was angling my cards to build onto her board. I was like, that's what we're doing. That's the game. I'm trying to build
joining together.
Hive. And then after I spent all my resources on it, I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't matter. None of this matters. All that matters is points.
Now, if you would have filled up that entire piece that you got, that add-on piece, that would have given you 8 extra points.
Yeah, I never would have, though. The Queen's Favor is like one of those things, though, where like, if you have more resources than you can hold because your cards only let you hold certain resources, they go in, you move up, you get extra points. But
Right.
it's one of those things. It feels important when you get that card or that little bonus thing telling you with a little crown on it. You're like, oh, cool, I'm moving up the Queen's Favor. That's going to be real important.
Right, but if you look,
it does in the
gets
high
like,
end.
the further you go with the Queen's
Gives
Favor,
you
the
big
more you can
points.
really screw over everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the first half of it is...
Oh, yeah, it's just piddly shit. You're not going to...
1 point.
Yeah.
a good amount of
Like,
squares.
yay, I finally got to move my square one. Okay, you just went up 5. Cool, that was useless.
All right, you don't know what doesn't work for me? This bothers me a lot.
Uh-oh.
On your docking mat,
Uh-huh.
you store your bees facing to the right.
Uh-huh.
When you put them on the board, they're facing to the left. So you have to like flip the bee around
No, that's just...
to face the other direction. I hate it. Why can't they all be facing the same direction?
I mean, the side of the board I'm sitting on, they were.
Yeah, that works for him.
No, look,
Oh, yeah, I also was just like pointing it forward because like I'm not...
I hate it.
But like, I don't know, they go that way. I just had to
No,
turn them 20 degrees.
Just make it turn. Just turn, flip it upside down.
it bothers me.
I get what
Okay.
you're saying, though.
Okay, you
They're
can
angled
also...
45
like,
degrees to the right, and they should
like
at
as a
least be...
design point. Why couldn't they just
Why couldn't they just be
change
straight?
the direction? You know,
Maybe,
like
maybe they can't. Maybe they can't turn to the left.
then turn these to the right.
Oh, it's true. Maybe bees only turn to the right.
That's
They
right.
have to spin
They
all the
can't
way
turn
around.
left.
That's right. Maybe
It's actually an
Zoolander
immersive
bees.
science thing.
Beelanders.
Yeah. Sorry you don't know your zoology or entomology or whatever was the important one here, but that's actually...
They're working on a new look.
You're in the wrong on that one. Exactly. A bunch of Zoolanders. All the good ones I got out of the way before we...
Oh, yeah, we did.
All the good ones I
now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
But then the other thing that doesn't work for me, also not really about the docking mat per se, but like you have your active pool at the top and the landing pad or landing area at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So when a bee gets bumped,
Uh-huh.
you can either level it up from like a 2 to a 3 or 3 to a 4, whatever, and put in your active pool.
Uh-huh.
Or you can, and then like you don't get any benefits from your farms. Or you can put in the landing area, and then when you retrieve all of your bees off the board, then the ones in the landing area can level up and activate your farms, along with all the others that activate your farms. And just me saying that right now is exhausting.
Yeah.
And I had to play the game solo 3 or 4 times before I had to stop looking at that rule in the rule book. Because, you know, like I finally
Right.
got it. Because here's the word. That is a fiddly rule. That, like, it's such a weird, finicky little rule that I couldn't wrap my head around.
See, there we go. Finicky. That's a real word.
I don't see. Every time he says fiddly, I just think the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
Well, yeah. Pretty much.
He's PJ Fiddly Hayden.
How does that work? Because like PJ's already your nickname.
Hello, I'm PJ Fiddly Hayden.
You should just legally change your name now. Don't tell Shanna. Just do it.
So I told my students about, because they're like, wait, you can just change your name to whatever? I'm like,
Yeah.
you never heard of Bezel? And they're like, who? And I learned about this in college. This guy who got arrested for, I think it was holding like a huge, like a stupid amount of weed, you know, but which is fitting for his name. He legally changed his name to Bezau Doodoo Zobbity Bop Bop Bop.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best name ever. This is the best. I will never forget that name for as long as I live.
would change my name to something stupid like that just so I have to go in front of a judge and be like, say it, motherfucker. Say my name.
Say my name, bitch!
Say my name.
Goddamn right.
Bezau Doodoo Zobbity Bop Bop Bop. You're goddamn right.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's funny that I didn't know you could change names. Because when I was a kid, there was like no way Mama Hogan named her kid Hulk, you know? like I knew that wasn't a real thing.
Mama Hogan.
Yeah.
Maybe she knew. She had a premonition. This kid's gonna be strong.
Yeah, right. If he turned out to be like 4 foot nothing, 60 pounds, like, oh man.
This here's Hulk.
That's true though. It's like how if your name's Peter, you're really tall, but if you're short, you just go by Pete.
That's true.
It's one of those things that happens. Sorry, did I tap the table?
And we've gone way off topic once again.
No, not that far off.
We've done a pretty good job this episode. I have to say.
This is the most together
This
we've
is a
ever
good
been.
one. This is a good one.
Yeah, we got the frustrating word puzzle thing out of the way, and now
Thank fucking God.
we had a mostly enjoyable game. Superfluous, yeah. Extra shit,
Yeah, superfluous. You had it.
Extraneous.
but sure. Extra stuff
Fiddly.
going on. It's a little fiddly, yeah.
Would it be the fiddly on the roof?
No.
Shut up.
How dare you?
You gotta watch out fiddling on a roof. You might fall off.
Well, what kind of roof are we talking about? What's the pitch?
It's on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck that. So what are your final thoughts on this game, guys?
I
That's
love it. Okay, well, it's a lot. It's probably the most complex Stone. It's definitely the most complex Stonemaier
Absolutely.
game I've played. More so than Scythe.
Oh yeah, hands down.
The solo game is really good. I really like the solo mode for it. It's my favorite worker placement he's made out of this, Viticulture, and Charterstone. This is my favorite of those. And I haven't played Euphoria, which is like his first one with bumping.
Okay.
So it's about like a dystopia, things like that.
Okay.
So I want to try that game out one of these days. But if you can find it at a good price, yes, I would not recommend this game at full retail. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I get that, because if I ever want to buy any game, I'm going to have him do it, because every single time he pays like 20%. No, yeah,
80% off.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 8.
Cool ranking
Nice.
system. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
We'll be the first ones to rank things out of 8.
I like. Well, because it's a nice even number.
Obviously.
This Wii thing is
8 times tables are everyone's
giving it a 5 out of
favorite.
8.
Well, yeah, that's the way it should go.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking.
That's my score based on absolutely nothing. That's just how I feel. It's better than 50%, but like I don't know how much.
All
Better.
right,
So it's
yeah.
like good. It's on the good end of the scale.
So speaking of times tables,
It's above average.
Mrs. Mosteller was in the pharmacy today, so we really need to thank her for teaching us our times tables.
Well, not this one.
I never had
Yeah.
that.
He got wrapped in the knuckles by nuns.
Yep.
That's unfortunate for him.
Sister
but
Lydia taught me my times tables.
I'm sorry.
Mrs.
Was it
Mosteller was clearly much nicer.
Was it your friend that she wouldn't let go to the bathroom until he peed? Was he peed on the floor?
Yeah. What's that under your seat? Sweat.
I learned mine from the inside flap of a notebook like a normal person.
Oh yeah. No, those are great.
No, we had to stand by our desks and recite our times tables, and then we had to do it in front of to pass the test. We had to recite them and to the teacher. She called us up to her desk, and
Oh man,
we had
so,
to go.
We
go
kind of
through
did
them.
that too, didn't we?
It's
No.
weird though, because if your first hard test, if you're the last one, you just heard 20 kids
Yeah, right.
do it.
You're like, I gotta remember every one this fucker said. What is that? No, for us it was like, hey, here's a fucking piece of paper. You have 1 minute to go
Oh,
through
those
100.
1 minute
Oh, yeah.
tests. Yeah,
Like, that's what we did.
that was terrible. I never finished
Yeah,
those.
we did have to do that. It would
I
have,
got pretty
all
good
of
at
them.
those.
It would be 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2
Yeah,
times
and then
3,
I
2
do
times
this,
3.
And I was so frustrated with that because I knew my times tables, but I wasn't fast at it, and so I'd get 60s on them all the time, and they were graded accuracy wise, or
Yeah.
not accuracy wise, but if you didn't complete it, you didn't get full credit.
Right.
And I'm like, I know how to do my times tables though. I'm just not fast at it.
So I'm the only one who knew how to cheat in elementary
He's
school.
just slow.
Oh yeah, I didn't get
Yeah.
that.
On your
I didn't-
notebook,
I didn't
dude.
get that way
Like,
until.
what?
Well, we didn't have those until high school.
Yeah.
Oh no. Like elementary school, they had those. It was like the back cover or like the inside cover.
Nah, dude, we didn't get those notebooks.
Oh, the composition books.
Yeah, the composition
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, no, we had to have the fucking yellow legal pads.
Yeah. What the hell? They were like eagles.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Would you
Alright.
recommend this game?
I would recommend this game. I would recommend that you find not for retail. I would also recommend that this not be your first worker placement game. Because
Yeah.
even though this is easy, coming from 3 out of the 4 of us, we've played worker placements before. And JB,
No, I haven't.
you picked up really quickly.
I enjoyed it. So my thing is, what did I say? It was a 5 out of 8.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I would recommend this game to people who like board games, like real games though. I would not recommend this to like a casual.
No.
This is not something you bring to your family
It's-
over Christmas dinner, like, or whatever.
I mean, if you want to fight over something that's not politics, do it.
No, play Monopoly. Like what? Don't spend what was it, $120 if
don't
you're not
play
PJ.
Monopoly.
Like
My
don't
brother,
know how to
okay,
play
that's
Monopoly.
another game that my brothers and I can stretch out for weeks at a time besides Risk, is Monopoly. We're ruthless, man.
I hate to say it, I almost bought Monopoly yesterday.
dude, I
What
almost
kind?
bought a Monopoly recently.
Beast Wars Monopoly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was at
That sounds cool,
Ollie's.
That's awesome.
And, like, it had all the little Beast Wars guys and little pewter figures. I'm like,
Nice.
I'd buy it just for those figures.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I thought about buying the Godzilla one because I collect Godzilla everything.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a Monopoly game, so I stopped myself.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like, why would I? Why?
Exactly.
Why? Like,
Just
I
to
want
say
the
you
little
have it.
pieces and stuff. Like, I love Godzilla, but, like...
Angie's watching your hands.
Yeah, I know. I keep tapping the table, and she hates it.
Yes, keep going, JB. The murder will be on you and not me.
The Dutch oven.
Yeah, you know that my fingers are fiddly. So, like, yeah, for a casual, just, like, regular person,
Yeah.
no.
Exactly.
Especially, I mean, what did you say the game would cost if it's not you? Like, 75?
75.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I am a mostly casual game player too, but like, no, I had a good time with it. It's just there is so much.
Yeah.
And there's a million pieces, and it's a little bit slow going, at least at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I would recommend it if like, fuck it. If you're a person who plays a lot of games and stuff, yeah, sure, check this one out.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Raiders of the North Sea, Lords of Waterdeep, lighter worker placements, but they're a little too boring for you now. You want something that makes your brain burn a little harder.
A little more complex.
Yeah, something with more complexity. Get this game.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We were talking about, really making you think. I wondered why I was smelling smoke. It could have been the early stroke or the fact that my brain was overheating.
It was probably my upper lip.
Oh. I love you, Angie.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play this game, you need to play it with somebody who, like,
Bought it.
to my own horror, but
Paid
like,
for it.
that has the mind to just look at it and be like, okay, this is what you do. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone who can
there needs to be
think.
somebody that can look at it, figure it out like that, and just explain it to you in as few words as possible.
Yeah, that's true. If you weren't here, if like I don't know, showed up to Christmas, it was me and my nieces, and I pulled this game out.
Oh, dear
There's
God.
absolutely no fucking way
Yeah.
we were going to play it. I would have gotten 2 paragraphs into the explanation and would have been like, you know what? Who here knows Parcheesi?
Not me, actually.
Actually, not even yet. I don't even know how to play Parcheesi.
God.
What's the shitty one? Candyland.
Candyland.
yeah.
There
You don't
go.
even roll dice. What is that?
The game literally plays itself. You're just moving the pieces.
Yeah, you
pretty
don't
much.
do anything. God, that game sucks. The board kicks ass, though. It's a cool board.
Of course.
Next week, can we just play Candyland?
How dare you?
I just gave it a review.
We could always,
Listeners, this is the last episode Angie will appear on.
we could always do Chutes and Ladders.
See, I think for the title you put and like
dare these people?
Apiary bonus Candyland. I'm like, yeah, the board is cool. The game sucks. Like there you go. 2 reviews for
10-second
one.
review.
Yeah,
We'll just do a Hasbro gaming.
everyone gets their money's worth. Like they got
Yeah.
2 reviews. Yeah.
To Hasbro Mattel Gaming. Just get them all out in like half an episode.
20 minutes.
They all suck.
20 minutes tops.
Like, what do you think about this game? This
Clue
game.
is pretty good. Like there aren't too many games that can really do what Clue does.
No.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, the thing about
Battleship.
the thing about all of those games though are like they're 80 fucking years old. If you haven't played it, don't listen to us. Just fucking play it.
yeah.
Boggle. I'm trying to think of other good ones. Boggle's
Scrabble.
good.
Scrabble's
Scrabble's a classic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Anyone who doesn't
Scrabble's
like
good.
Scrabble just doesn't like it because they don't know how to spell.
Yeah.
Scrabble's a
Yeah,
good
that's-
game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's a good ass game, right?
Goddamn
there.
right.
Risk.
Fucking love Risk.
Risk is great.
I'm so sorry, PJ. I didn't mean to start this.
See, Risk.
We're talking about board games.
Risk
What are
has
we talking
like not a lot of people in the gaming community like Risk.
Oh, pfft.
about? Yeah, but
Yeah.
I bet it was most of those people's like intro to games.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like Risk,
And-
it's not like a serious game, but it's the most serious of like the board games that,
Yeah.
that's at your parents' house.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And there's no other game that really simulates epic warfare that's affordable.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, there
Yeah.
you don't like. I've Battle for Middle Earth over there, which, or not War of the Ring,
War of
the
not
Ring.
Battle for Middle Earth.
Yeah.
That's
That's
video
different.
game. So I have War of the Ring over there, which is probably the next best thing to Risk, except rules wise, a lot more complicated than Risk.
Yeah.
You know, much harder barrier for entry to get through there.
Yeah, it's your intro to more complicated games.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like universal. Like
Mm-hmm.
people who play stuff like this is like almost everybody started with like Risk. That's your first introduction to like, oh, this is gonna take several hours. We're gonna get into it. We gotta, I'm gonna have plans.
Yeah, we're gonna set aside an afternoon, and this is what we're gonna be doing.
Anyway, everybody, come back next week. We're gonna review Checkers.
In 2 seconds.
Play me out, Sam.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. Visit us at Facebook, Games Overboard, or visit us at gamesoverboard.com.
There you go.
Yep. Send us an email at gamesoboard@gmail.com. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, you can just comment on this video.
Please.
I'm JB. Don't contact me at all. Thank you.
And just lastly, spread the word about us. Help our little podcast grow.
Podcast?
Our podcast. Help
Well, I
our
mean, we are a
podcast
little
grow.
crass.
A little?
I already did that.
A lot of crass.
A lot crass.
JB's just here for the bees.
I named them all J.
It's okay. PJ named them all P, so
That doesn't make sense.
The
P and JBs.
Yeah, but
The peanut butters.
my name is B.
P and
He
JBs.
doesn't have a J in his name, though.
Jay does not-
He only gets a J when I put it in there. We do stuff together.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
sorry.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.